Alrighty, let's just sit for a moment and set our intention for class and talk about what we're doing today, and then we'll start moving our bodies. So today we're doing a 30-minute hatha class, and we're going to focus on postures that help our low back area find some relaxation. If you have low back pain or something like that, these poses can sometimes help with those things as well. So yeah, roll out your yoga mat and lay down on your back, and that's where we're going to start our practice today. So yeah, welcome here. It's so good to have you. I'm glad that you could make it for the session. Let me just move my little face cam out of the way, and we'll start moving our bodies. All right, so just starting, again, laying down on your back. We're going to imitate legs up the wall. So we're just going to lift legs up, plant the palms down beside the hips, and just let the legs lift into the air. If you do have a wall nearby, you could put the heels against the wall, and that can take some of the challenge out of the posture. But sometimes working the body a little bit is a good thing. And I just got back from doing some camping, and holy smokes, does working the body ever feel good? We went on a number of hikes on the camping trip, and there was a number of times where I was walking up big, huge, steep cliffs in the broad daylight in the sun, huffing and puffing and feeling that benefit of the challenge. All right, let's relax our knees and our legs come down, feet down onto the floor. And let's just take a deep breath in through the nose and a breath out through the mouth. Do that one more time as you lay here on your back. A deep breath in through the nose, filling up the whole body with air, and an exhale out through the mouth. All right, you're going to draw the knees into your chest now and let them come wide apart, kind of towards the armpits more than the chest. So really wide into the legs, and you're just going to open up through the groin muscles there. And let's kind of focus into the sensation of breathing, as I think that's really probably the most important part of coming to the yoga mat. Once we get into the pose, we take an inhale, and we take an exhale. Repeat that a few more times as we let the posture kind of cascade over the body, the sensations of the posture slowly changing over time, kind of like a riverbed. You know, the river goes through the riverbed, creating the waterfalls and the gorges and the canyons, slowly changing over time, just like these first few postures here. All right, now let's lift the knees up or let's lift the feet up into the air, sorry. And once you have the feet up in the air, you're going to grab for the pinky side edges of the feet and then bring the heels to touch each other, if that's possible for you to do. We're going to feel a little bit of a stretch moving into the groin in a deeper way. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And a breath out through the nose. 3 more breaths here, holding the pinky side edges of the feet in. Noticing sensation in the groin and in the low back. And let's release the feet, bring the feet down onto the floor. Let's tent the knees in for just a second, let the feet walk out and feel kind of the opposite shape to that last posture. So you can just kind of let the arms relax at your sides. And let's take a nice breath in and out through the mouth if you'd like to, like a big sigh, sinking down. Try that 2 more times as you lay there with the knees together and the feet apart on your yoga mat, feeling that stretch, or actually really feeling the pressure in the low back and that kind of sensation of gravity sinking down. And then we're gonna rock and roll on our low back just a little bit and feel some sensation change. So we're grabbing the knees or the shins. So either on top or underneath, I should say. And then we're gonna just kind of rock and roll up and down. So we're rolling towards our shoulders, then to our hips, and we can roll kind of up with the spine like so. We're gonna do this a few more times, kind of rolling back and forwards. 2 more times, and exploring within your range of comfort. How far the feet go up, how much you rock, and how much you roll. Last one. And then let's go onto our backs, and we're just gonna kind of hold the knees in like we had them before, and we're just gonna roll side to side a little bit. So left and right. The funny thing with this one is sometimes I'll roll too far to one side and just be like, oh no. I'll just kind of go all the way that way, but it's okay. We just roll back the other way. Trying a few more rock and rolls left and right, catching yourself with your arms perhaps, and then letting the legs come back to the center. Let's place those feet down onto the ground. Root down with the feet and lift up with the hips for bridge pose. So we're rising up with the front of the pelvis. Should feel a little bit of a stretch in the groin and in the hips. Let's root down with our elbows, press down with the triceps, back edges of the arms, and just continue to gently lift the fronts of the hips there. Taking breath in and taking breath out. And in and out. Press down with your feet, squeeze the bum, lift the hips a little bit higher, and then roll the hips all the way down to the ground. All right, let's rock and roll up into a seated position. And we're going to come into the tabletop position next. So we're on our hands and we're on our knees next here. Let's curl under the toes and lift up through the hips to downward facing dog. And then from there, we're going to lift the left leg up, breathe in. Exhale, draw the left knee to the nose, and then step through with the left foot. Let's pivot the right heel to the floor for warrior two. Reach and rise up into that warrior position. Arms reaching apart, looking forwards over the left fingertips. Right arm reaches back. Breathe in the nose. And breathe out the nose, pressing back through the heel, feeling that stretch move into the front of the groin and the hip area there. And simultaneously, we're going to try to engage the glute muscles, which is supportive of the low back. And we're just going to be in this warrior two for 2 more breaths. Inhale through the nose. And out through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And out through the nose. Straighten the front leg, the one that was bent. Leave the arms where they are. We're just going to turn our toes sideways. And then opposite direction. Right toes turn to face back of the yoga mat. We're going to lunge the right knee forwards over the right ankle into warrior two on the opposite side of the body. Look forwards over the right fingers this time. And keep reaching the arms apart. Let's breathe in. And let's breathe out. The nice thing about doing yoga inside your house is that when you breathe, you don't attract mosquitoes. There was one moment on the camping trip that I just went on where the mosquitoes were so intense, and we were on a hike, and I didn't have any mosquito repellent with me, and we were walking through the woods, and by the end of it, we got back to our campsite, and I asked my partner to count the mosquito bites on my arm. I had 27 mosquito bites on one arm. That's how many there were. And so sometimes we are put into experiences where they're challenging. Sometimes that's warrior two. Sometimes that's 27 mosquito bites on your right arm. I don't know. They're a little bit different, but we show up on the yoga mat, we're in this moment, we're in this experience. We go on the hike, we're in that moment, we're in that experience. Let's straighten the front leg, put the hands in the hips, turn your toes face sideways. We're going to do a forward fold, so the legs can be wide like this, hinging forwards. touching down to the yoga mat. Or feet can be narrow like this. And same thing, folding forwards down to your yoga mat. Let's let the head hang down. Feeling the stretch move up the backs of the legs, the hamstring muscles, into the insertion point up near the glute area, up near the bum. Let's let the head and shoulders and neck hang down. Let's take one more deep breath in. And a big sigh out through the mouth. And let's come back up, put the hands on the thighs, and slowly rise your way back up into standing. Let's turn to face forwards on the yoga mat, and we're going to use the posting leg, the glutes, and to get a little bit active into each leg side to side and try to challenge our balance muscles. So stand on the right leg, lift the left leg up, grab your left knee with the hand, reach the right arm to the right, and then start to open the left knee out to that left side, push down into the floor with the right foot. And we're really trying to stay active in the quadricep and the glute of that posting leg. So that's kind of what's like keeping us tall, if you will, in the posture. So if we aren't active there, we're gonna kind of often sink into the hip, sink into the knee. Sometimes even we'll lock the knee back in space and the quadricep turns off. We'll dip the hip to the side, the glute turns off. We don't wanna do that. We wanna keep the quadricep engaged, the glute engaged of that posting leg, and then we're gonna hold that hand to the knee. And then we're going to get those both two benefits, right? The posting leg getting strengthened, the left leg and groin muscle getting kind of stretched open through the hand to knee posture. Let's try it on the opposite side. Bring that knee forwards, lower that foot to the floor, lift the right knee up, grab the knee just below the knee on the shin, open that leg to the side and reach the left arm to the left. So we're just doing that exact same posture on the opposite side. We're using the posting leg, quadricep kind of engaging up, glute engaging forwards with the glute. It almost feels as if we're pushing into the ground with the heel, and then we're going to hold that right hand to the knee. Next option is you could look to the left side if you want to. Let's move the knee and the arm forwards, lower the foot down to the floor, exhale. All right, let's use the glutes in a different way. So we're gonna now bring the left arm back, or the left leg and the arm back behind us. And we're gonna try to kick our heel to our butt. Or to our hand rather. So kick heel to the hand. Try that once or twice, just kicking the heel back to the hand without really moving the hand. If you can, grab hold of the foot, reach up with your right arm, kick back and up with the left foot, and here for 5. The most challenging posture of our class today for 4. Kicking back, reaching forwards, 3, 2, breathing in, breathing out, 1, rising up. Swaparoo, change those arms. Grab for the right heel by kicking that heel towards the hand. Try that a few times. We really want to use the hamstring and the glute here. So hamstring kicks the heel, glute moves the knee backwards in space. Go ahead and grab hold of that foot and then continue kicking back, reaching up. Present with your breathing, inhale. Exhale, kicking. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, hinging at the posting hip just a little bit further as you explore the nuances of this posture, some of the subtleties. For 3, 2, 1, big breath in. And a breath out to come back up. Lowering that foot down into the floor, relaxing both hands down so that they're next to your hips. Let's put the hands onto those hips and actually feel the hip bones, right? So each of the pointer fingers can feel the front hip bone, and the thumbs are going to kind of grab the backs of the hips just above the butt. I want you to notice where those hip bones are in space. And then we're going to lift the right knee up. Notice how the hip bones haven't really moved. They're kind of just still more or less right there. Now we're going to open the right knee to the right side, connect the right foot to the inside edge of the leg. And that's kind of like our range of motion. Our hips don't need to move to the side. Sometimes that happens when people go for tree pose. Their hips start to actually swivel outwardly because the knee's trying to get out, and then they'll try to go further, and it actually just does that. So we're trying to keep forward facing with the hips, opening to the side, hands to heart for 5, stabilizing leg for 4, crown of the head reaches 3, 2, and 1. Knee forwards, foot to floor. Opposite side, lift the left knee, push down into the posting foot, open the left knee to the side just as much as allows your hips to stay kind of forward facing. Plant that foot on the inside edge of the right leg. Join your hands to your heart center. Find your balance. It's okay if you wobble. It's part of being human. It's okay if you feel a little scared sometimes. That's part of being human. Crown of the head reaching up, sole of the foot pushing down. Hands pressed together, strong in that prayer position. Let's move the knee forwards with a breath in, and foot to the floor. Let's relax it. Arms relax down beside your hips. And let's find Tadasana for a few moments. Tadasana is also another name for mountain pose. So for mountain pose, we're just going to relax the feet onto the floor in our comfortable, natural stance. Some people put the feet right together, like the toes touching, the heels slightly apart, and then they'll say that like that's their natural stance, but I personally don't find that's my natural stance. So I just kind of find good position, relaxed, comfortable, and stand there. And the arms, you can have them palms facing forwards, but once again, I don't find that particularly comfortable, so I'll just let the arms be kind of neutral and relaxed. Now we're standing tall. Let's take a big breath in, and a big breath out. I want you to imagine a big mountain in your eye, in your mind's eye. Weather system around the top of the mountain. Maybe there's some snow up there. And big and rooted at the bottom of the mountain, like the feet. Let's take a breath in, reach the arms up. Breath out, dive down to the yoga mat. Let's bring the knees to the floor. All right, we're going to come into deer pose next. So face forwards on the yoga mat in tabletop position. Walk the left knee up to the left wrist, swivel the left shin underneath your pelvis, and then let the whole hip come down to the floor. So the left hip is down. The right knee is bent as well. We're going to come down onto our elbows next here. Now our next option to get some more stretching into the low back area is to reach the right arm under our left. So if you're confused, you can watch me do this. Left palm presses down, lifts our chest up. Right arm reaches underneath left arm, getting this nice QL low back area stretch. Let's stay there for about 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 4 more. And the breath doesn't need to be forceful unless you're working super hard in the posture. Sometimes it can be calm and relaxed. Kind of like a slower portion of a hike in the mountains. You know, you don't need to work super hard when it's flat. Let's try this on the opposite side. So to change sides, I'm just gonna do a little leg windshield wiper. So check it out. We lean back. The legs just do a little windshield wiper to the opposite side. So now our right knee is in front of us. We're gonna come down on the elbows. Relax here for a few moments. Sorry, I just muted myself for a second there. I had to clear my throat. My apologies. All right, let's press the palms down. We could go into that slight twisted version, reaching the left arm under and then just staying there for 3 breaths. And then coming back to more middle position, back just onto the bum. Once you're on the bum, we're gonna bring the soles of the feet to touch, and the knees are gonna kind of fall apart from each other. I'm feeling that stretch move into the inside edge of the groin here. We're gonna fold forwards, and we're gonna try taking the hands somewhere new, maybe underneath of the shins, like so. So we can thread each hand underneath each shin, palms face up. And then you can hang the head down over the feet. Just 2 more breaths in this cobbler's pose. Maybe let the head hang down just a tiny bit more here. And then lift up through the head. Undo the hands from underneath the arms, or the arms from underneath the legs, sorry. And we're gonna come into a little bit of another QL stretch in the low back area of the body. We're gonna do a supine twist, but we're gonna kind of get a twist with the arm grabbing the leg. So let's go ahead and lay down on our backs. I'm actually gonna face this way. Lay down on our backs, head down, and we're gonna lift our knees up. We're going to just extend one leg. So let's extend the right leg all the way out beneath us. Now let's hold our left leg with our right hand. And now encourage the left leg to move over to the right hand side. Now, how far is totally up to you. You might stop right here and be like, that's good for me. Or you might extend the leg and explore. Or you might bring the leg all the way to the ground. You might extend it as well as that, having it to the ground. And we're going to hopefully feel some rotation, some twisting in the core, but also some stretching in the low back part of the body. We can continue to hold the leg or just let go of it if we're feeling pretty comfortable with letting go. One more breath here, then lifting the knee back up. Let's try it on the opposite side. So we're going to extend the left leg, hold the right knee with the left hand, and then encourage that right knee to move over to that left hand side of your yoga mat, stopping wherever it is feels really comfortable for you. And you can leave the right arm extending out to the right side as well. You can look over to the right. So feeling a stretch in the midsection of the core and our twisting muscles, but also in this low back twisting muscle group called the QL. Some support muscles there. And let's start to take our right leg back to the center. And then we're going to just extend those legs all the way out, extend the arms all the way out for our final Shavasana. Let's feel that restfulness in our bodies. Some of the work that we did in our yoga practice and throughout our week coming into this moment. I believe that when we put our mindfulness into each moment, it makes the moments feel richer. It makes the moments feel longer. When we're more present with our surroundings, when we're more present with our peers, our friends, our family, it grows our life, it grows our time, because we feel more. We're more present with more in our day than we were if we were just moving through in a complacent way. So yoga helps us become more present, but so does doing lots of things. So does going on a hike, being present with the birds, feeling the soil underneath your feet, lighting a campfire under the stars at nighttime. There's all sorts of different things that can fill us up. And it's important that we find a balance. But in my opinion, it's also really important to find something that can help us process what we're feeling, the different changes in our life. And for me, yoga is that thing. It really helps me process some of the changing and ebbing and flowing things. And it gives me a framework to look back at. And it gives me a healthy ground layer to work from. So that I can do all those things, like, those fun things like go on the hikes and still sleep in a tent, Let's lay in Shavasana for just a few more moments and just feel the relaxation of our bodies. So I just want to thank you so much for coming to class today. Namaste.